Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What If Civilization Started Over. In this episode, we will be more of a focus on colonization, but we will also still be seeing wars, and other stuff. Let's get right into this video. So, first things first, what we will have to see is actually Persia will go ahead and expand their colony into these regions over here, gaining a decent amount of land and making their colonial empire even bigger. So that's good for them. And now, seeing this, the Brazilian country feels like they might get trapped in soon, and after getting trapped in, they might get colonized, which would be very bad for them. But now there will actually be a new country on South America, and this country is actually pretty large. They're in the central regions, and they span across all of this. Now I have to make this part look better, but yeah. They span across all of these lands. Nope, not all of that. And so, yeah, they are pretty large. Anyways, let's go ahead and see their capital. I always forget what size I have the major cities at. 4. Okay. So, their main cities are in these two spots. Why? Well, because I chose those to be the two spots. And they will be putting their capital right there. But after seeing this, the Brazilians feel threatened. So they go ahead and quickly expand to a large amount of territory. Making them quite a good amount bigger. Now, Pink France, for being the second strongest country, has a very underwhelming colony or colonial empire. So they are gonna go ahead and try to fix that, as they are gonna be colonizing more of these areas. And I don't know why I just uncovered those islands. They have not been discovered yet. But anyways, most of the Gulf over here will be discovered. Now I'm only calling it the Gulf because there's no specific country that has claimed it as theirs, I guess. Like the Gulf of Mexico, I guess. But currently it's looking like it'll be called the Gulf of Guatemala, because Guatemala is the main country in this region. But we will see them expand into all of these areas besides that. And that will be because there's a new country which will be dark red Mexico. 'Cause yeah. So that will be the start of this country, and instantly they will become friends with the Guatemalans. And yeah, they are building some very good relations. And yeah, they will put their capital over there because that's where most of their economy is. Yeah, I know, economy. They just became a country. But yeah, so more land over here will be explored, getting to like that. But then the country over here, like North Carolina, I guess, will be getting invaded by Pink France, and they will not stand any chance. Will be invaded by Pink France and will not stand any chance. That rhymes. Nice. But yeah. So now we will go ahead and see them explore more of these areas. And I'm actually turn off provinces. But yeah. And now they will expand into actually a pretty good amount of land over here. Now, before they took all of that, this, like, Detroit country or Michigan country will take land from here. And also, the New York country will take land from here. So, that will make this area smaller, but still pretty big. Now, we will actually be seeing a revolt in, from the country that just got invaded, down here in the south, where they were actually starting to explore and expand. So this is where like most of their explorers are. So in these claimed lands, they will be getting heavily pushed back. But eventually when they actually use their troops, that country gets cooked. But now we will see Florida be fully discovered by the Guatemalans, and now the Guatemalans will start even more expansion, as these guys are planning to become a very strong nation, as just in this episode they have shown their strength, because they have grown a lot in size and actually getting spots that will be very important for them later on. So yeah, that's some pretty good pickups by them. And these sure will also get new major cities. These sure both on borders. There and there. Okay. And yeah. Now, moving on from that, we will actually be seeing some reverse colonization. Now, what does that mean? Well, instead of a European country being invaded by, like African country or South American country or North American country or Australian country being invaded by a European or Asian power, we will actually be seeing instead Pink China being invaded. Now, why? Well, it's simple. The countries around them want land, and they're taking up all of it. So in these areas where all these countries have the advantage, they will quickly push. Now, they're not going for like a bunch of land, just a decent amount of land for them. Because, yeah. And so, this will go very successfully for them, as this country gets like the south of this, and yeah. And this is what they will peace out at. And so, yeah. Pink China will say, okay, we agree. Okay, that did it. And yeah. So, this country over here will get some very big amounts of land. Shown right here. As they will get that. And they will also get these areas over here. That will go back to them. So will that. And then the Papua New Guinea country will, instead of the other country, will be taking that. And these guys will also be getting that. And boom. Oh yeah, can't forget those islands. But yeah, this is now what that area looks like. But also, we will be seeing the invasion of, let's see, where would it be? It would probably be down here, as we see the invasion of Angola and Mozambique. Actually, I'm gonna make this color a little bit of a different color. Just so it looks better. And yeah, these guys are going to go ahead and push further and further in, because they are getting aided by the purple country, who is also in this. So yeah, and then we will see their invasion of Mozambique, and we will see this country's invasion of Mozambique, which will go a lot better, as this country was not let off good from what was it, Malaysia? Yeah. And Angola is just gonna get destroyed, because pretty much all of their neighbors are attacking them. In fact, yeah, all of their neighbors are attacking them. So they will quickly get defeated. And now it's over for this country, because these guys are going to take those areas, and these guys, well, yeah. So let's go ahead and see all of the peace treaties from this war. Now, before we get into the peace treaties, I have to do all of that. But, anyways, these guys will actually be giving it that area to them because these guys wanted more area of that in exchange for true provinces down here and a little bit of money. Because, yeah, money. So, they both say it's a pretty good trade on each side. Which, low-key, yeah, too good of a trade for, the now, like, yellowy white country. So, they will be giving away, actually, this province, actually, the top two provinces, because their capital is already moved. I just forgot to show it, you know? Trust. And that was their capital because that's where they really, like, started. But yeah. So, their new capital will be... Oh my gosh. My bad. So, we will now be seeing where their new capital will be, which will be right there. And now after that, okay, I just had to fix everything because the capitals got cooked. But after that, we will be seeing these guys get this one pretty large area from these guys. And yeah, they will also be getting two more, not just that one big one. I told you guys that they were getting cooked. So, this will be most of the result of what happens to Angola. And yeah, they got destroyed. And in fact, they're gonna have to move their capital because this country will be taking where the capital is, which I'd have to say isn't so kind. In fact, now that they don't have that area over there, they are kind of looking like this green country. So, yeah, not a good sign to be looking like that country, as they are one of the weakest countries in the entire series. But these guys will be getting that, and surprisingly, these guys will be getting multiple areas of land. Like that. And yeah, now these guys really look similar. But after that, we will be seeing what the Mozambique country will lose. First off, by these guys, they will be losing their newly acquired lands. Because, yeah, And from the purple country up here, they will be losing also a good amount of land. They will also be losing this one. Not just those other two. Oh, I messed up right there. But yeah. And right here. Oh my gosh. But, that will be a big mess up for these guys. I mean, it wasn't even their fault that they got invaded. They didn't do anything. These other countries just wanted land. Now, real quick, after I finish this, I will show you something. So, these guys who were actually, just a puppet state of these two are now going to become more of an ally instead of a puppet state. Because, yeah, they're getting independence. Well, they already had independence, but like, you know what I mean? And then the rest of it will actually, I'm not kidding, be going over to Madagascar, as they were both Malaysian owned areas, and so it makes a decent amount of sense that would happen. So, these guys, the Ethiopians, will be starting to rapidly increase their expansion over here, mainly focusing on like the sea areas. And as you can see, they're making like sort of a barrier around these areas, so no other colonizers could get it, really. But there might be a colonizer that could get it. But if there is a colonizer, there's only one that it could be. I wonder which one could it be? But these guys will go ahead and explore more land. And yeah, just making sure there's nothing over there that they're missing. And also over here, there will be a lot of water explored. But, over here, we will be seeing a country actually uniting with the big country. And then we will be seeing something happening. Now, I just want to let you know, it is not these four uniting, or these 5 or 6. Low-key, that would easily be the strongest country in the world if that happened. But, a country that hasn't done much besides expand and build up their economy will fastly be attacked by the Tibet country, which is significantly stronger than them. And also, the Bangladesh country doesn't really have any allies, so yeah. Now, this country was a part of the REA, the Russian Expansion Association. And so is this country, so they are both wiped off the map. Angola, on the other hand, was on the other side, so they're also wiped off. And yeah, now for the peace treaty. And actually, in this peace treaty, I just need to grab that color. Okay. In this peace treaty, Bangladesh will still be alive, but very, and I mean very crippled, as they will be losing a majority of their land. And I did this line on the wrong layer. So, real quick, let me just make this easier for myself, because I will be doing that, and that, and yeah, good. And now I will be copying the line. Yeah, copy. Erase. Paste. No! I'll just be doing it the regular way. So, instead of all that weird stuff, I will be showing it a lot faster and easier. So, no. No, thank you. So, the peace treaty will be this. A very large amount of land will be taken from these guys. 'Cause, well, yeah. But that isn't all. There will be another war. That will be that country being invaded. But not just them. These guys too. They will both very quickly surrender after those lands will be taken. And Tibet will be a lot more calm with what they take, I guess, because they have been allies with these countries before. But with Bangladesh, no, they have not been allies before. So, yeah. And so, these will be the lands taken. And, although Tibet had good borders before, they might now have even better borders. But also, not just that, they're even stronger than before. And now that country will move their capital. And now I will turn off provinces. So Tibet is looking very big. And there could be 3 countries that could be swallowed. So, what will happen to them? Well, not necessarily something will happen to every single one, but there will be something happening to one, which will be them uniting with Myanmar, the Bangladeshi. And this will make the the Myanmar country even stronger, and now it will make Tibet mad. So they will be sending an ultimatum over to Myanmar for these lands. Now, Tibet says if Myanmar accepts, they will give them land. But if they don't accept, they will go to war. And basically, this will be low-key a win-win. Well, not really a win-win, but will be good for the Myanmar country because they basically just got one free area of land without really doing anything. So, no, 2 areas of land without doing anything. And they get more coastline and stuff. So, yeah. Now these guys are looking even bigger. And there will be something happening. Not with these 2 countries. Why did you think that? Well, actually, one thing over here. A trade. As these areas would easily fall over to the Indians. Not the Indians. The Tibet country, if they were to ever invade again, would be taken over with ease. So they have decided to just ask for a trade. They say yes. And now both of these countries will ask for these guys to make like a country, I guess, for them to invade for land. And they're gonna really just say it was a rebellion that happened in their country, but they literally just randomly made these guys independent without them realizing. And then because these guys are all allies, so yeah, they do that. And then they get to take it because, yes. That number's fine. That'll be more like that and that. And then this color will be more of that. So this will be the new country. Actually, no. I'm gonna just, I don't like that color. So it's gonna be this. And where will their capital be? In both of those areas. Duh. But anyways, we will now be seeing something that has happened before. Now, what is it? I'm not telling you. Because I was fine. There won't be anything happening. So, this area, aka, the old empire's puppet state, will be now getting independence, and they will instantly join that country, and then that country will unite with this one. No, they are not uniting with this one, because that's just ugly. But you know what? There's gonna be a color swap. Because I like how that looks better than the other way around. So yeah. And these guys will be invaded by Carthage. And so will these two. And now Carthage is totally the biggest country in the world, because they also take over all that. Now, could they if they wanted to? Yes. Will that happen? Never. Although, we will see a quadruple invasion of a country. That will be this country. Now, what do I mean quadruple? I mean quadruple. Because there's 4 countries that border it. Duh. And so, peace treaty. That is a peace treaty of what happens to the Libyan country. And that, now makes for what will happen to the French colony, as actually most African colonies have collapsed, besides these 3, because they're like that. And they also all have colonial empires elsewhere. But Pink France will be losing one area, and this will be a very important area. Their main area of their colony. This will lead to one other area falling. That area will be this area. Yeah. So, 2 massive chunks of their country or colony will be taken. But now, we will see an event. A large event. As we see the 2 sides over here, tensions will rise. And it's getting heated. But before it gets too heated, there will be 5 new countries joining. That is new country number 1, new country number 2, It's actually well, as you can see, it's a Europe theme, and quickly we will be seeing the entire British Isles joining that side, Morocco joining on that side, and also these guys, these guys, these guys, and these guys. So it's actually a lot more than just 5, because that's 5 right there alone, and it was 3 more there, and yeah, so 8 joined on that side. And quickly, just so this doesn't become a world war, the old empire no, not the old empire, the Grand Legion instructs African countries to leave, and that involves Gibraltar. Now, Brazil says, you know what, okay, we understand, we will leave, because they are so far away. And in fact, over here, this will be very hard for these guys to for some of them to defeat. But these two, oh, that country leaves. And then this country, as they see that they will instantly lose, will leave, and then Hokkaido will leave. And this has just de-escalated to a good amount, but that country leaves, so now it's just these two, and they say, you know what, let's leave. And then now it is mainly a European war. Now what will happen over here? Well, there won't really be any fighting over here, so yeah. And these guys were just here to help out those guys, so yeah. These guys can't really do anything. The Grand Legion and the Ethiopians will stop them, even though neither of them are in the war. Everybody in this region would stop them. But yeah. Now that all of that has happened, and yeah, the Russians see that the countries are distracted, and so they now start their invasion. Now, this will go very successfully because they have been brought to the modern world in a video I have, but I haven't edited or posted yet. That will be coming out before this video. There will be the video that comes out right before this one. So, yeah, they will have a little bit of knowledge from that. That will make them a decent amount stronger, as it will give them modern war tactics. Only some, not really any. It's just like a more advanced encirclement. So they will pop out in these 2 spots, and then there, and there. And they're slowly filling out the front line as they do 3 more pop, 4. And then, now they can start to really connect their encirclements. Because that one gets destroyed fast. And yeah, without even realizing what these guys were doing, they got encircled. And the Scandinavians could take on both of these guys at once. Now, that was also the case for the real world, as they had the same tech and stuff. Well, these guys in the real world wouldn't be too bothered from losing the northern areas. They dropped maybe like 5 places in the military rankings each. And these guys would be like 10 above them. So it would be a very hard fight for them. But in this week, Scandinavia is a lot stronger than Norway and Sweden. As Scandinavia is probably the 15th to no, because this is communist Russia. They need to first off be upgraded. Great Ankara is like 6 times stronger than them, so these guys are 20th. But a full pushback in those areas will happen, and there will be no stopping the Scandinavians fighting Sweden. But the naval fight over here is so deadly that anytime Scandinavia even tries to land on Gotland, or I call it that land, they get all of their ships get destroyed within the first 60 minutes of them being in that area. So yeah, not that good for the Scandinavians. But as the Scandinavians are pushing down here, the Swedish will make a push like that. So these guys are going to try and make an encirclement, but as they didn't realize, the Swedish were trying to wrap around and make an encirclement, which works. And so these guys realize what they have to do, which will be to start the invasion into Norway again. And this will go a lot better than the first time, as they will be occupying all of these lands. And so after that, the Swedish will get heavily pushed back. And yeah, right after all of this, Norway, who should be dead by now, because these guys are trying to send the Scandinavians aid, but they're being dumb. The Swedish will still be holding on, as they are a decent amount stronger than Norway. But over here, it will not be so good, As currently it's like a 4v1 against Romania. Now, the only person that really stands a chance against them in this area is these guys and the Greeks. And Bulgaria, one of the oldest countries in the world, will start to get pushed back, and eventually they will fully be pushed back. Now, I just want you to see real quick. That's what Romania would look like with all those areas. Not good, right? Exactly. So, yeah. Just so you know what they won't be getting in this war. It's all of those lands. Yeah. Yep. That will, yes. That will, yes. These guys, they must, even though they were supposedly ready by what they were telling the Romanians, which the Romanians knew that secretly meant that they weren't ready for any invasion, must not have had their military ready, because they are getting literally squished. And the Russians have taught the Romanians their strategy. And the Romanians are just being like, yep, we're gonna take these areas and that. Oh, can't forget that. Oh, hey, you're cooked. Nice, cool, you won. And yeah, anyways, now the Greeks, it will be very hard for them to hold off, as there will be an invasion from over here, which was undefended because they were putting all their troops on the front line, which were slowly getting pushed back to here. Will now get invaded in a way that they didn't think would happen. And so, yeah, they're cooked. Now, there's only one more country that the Romanians have to take care of. Well, actually, two. But the Romanians will quickly take over that. And that. Now, the Russians, they are having a very hard time over there. The Russians. You know, I feel bad for the Russians. Yeah, sure, they do got a bunch of allies. Or, they do got a bunch of countries to help them. They have, 1, 2, 3, 6, 11. They have 13 countries on their side, including themselves. 12, not including themselves. So, what's stopping them from winning if the other team only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? And, most of the countries on, Russia's side is stronger. Well, poor Russia. 'Cause, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 8 countries have just swapped sides, including 2 of Russia's best friends. Now, I'm actually kidding about Romania swapping sides. It would never. But half of the countries that were just on Russia's side are now on the enemy side, including one of Russia's best friends, and Scandinavia. They were planning this. They were planning to swap sides and attack Russia from before the war started. So, over here, there will be a bigger fight. Because, well, before all of these guys were on the same team. Now, they are not. And, well, first off, there will be one country that gets absolutely shredded, and that is this country. But after this country gets taken over, it will be a 2v1. Morocco will have to fight 2 countries by themselves. And quickly, they will be taking 2 major cities out of, because Morocco is still half shocked at what just happened to Russia. And so, yeah. Now, there will be an invasion by these guys. They will be attempting to push over here. And, yeah. This is just cut off. And Morocco looks like they're gonna lose. Now, they have half of their forces up here, which is like around 75% of these troops, but they have 100% on these front lines. So what would happen if they have 100% on those two front lines, but Morocco has 50% of their troops over here? Yep. Morocco just pulled it off. They snuck behind lines because, well, for some reason, the other country didn't think that Morocco would have taken those guys already. So they just went ahead for these guys and then attacked. But now it's a 1v1. 150% in terms of these guys' troops compared to 100%. Yeah. Not looking too good anymore, are ya? Saving these guys. And now, after they save their ally, well, Morocco, you're the GOAT. how do you pull off a 2v1 against two countries that actually could have defeated you? Now, Scandinavia, these two countries could have also defeated them, but they obviously swapped sides. What would Morocco potentially get out of this war? This, besides some of that land. And, actually, no, more like this, but land taken from all these three. But, Morocco, good job. Now, if we look at these alliances, 1, 2, 3, 5 on Russia's side. No, because these guys were taken over. And not counting, like, countries that were occupied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 countries. 9 to 5. Now, if we're counting countries that have been taken over, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 to 5. That was what it would actually be. Because every country that swapped was already planning to swap. So, it's still what? 1, 2, 3, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 to 5. Okay. So, that means if it's 10 to 5, every country on Russia's side has to take out 2. Now, these guys, they can't do much. They're like emotional support. Morocco's already done their job. They've taken out 3. Because 7 countries on the enemy of Russia, on the side that is against Russia, have already been taken out. 1 by Russia, 3 by Romania, 3 by Morocco. Now, Morocco can't do much, so, well, in their position. So, really, it's a 10v2. But also, Guatemala can't really do much. So it's a 9 to 2. After finding that out, Romania knows there ain't much of a chance. But with all their might, they're gonna push through Rome, who is still weaker than them. And they're gonna defeat Rome. Now, over here, in Scandinavia, in the British Isles, 2 united areas against Russia. Okay, so I just realized how similar Ireland and Scotland's color is. So instead, they unite, but not really. So, they're just fighting under one color. Or under one banner, sorry. So, they will be going ahead and pushing through Finland and Kola. And so, yeah, they will be taking out all of Finland. And then, now, we will look at Germany. So, in reality, it is still a 9v2, but yeah, Germany will slowly be getting pushed more and more by the Russians. But the Russians aren't giving up. The Russians are pushing down here. They're saying, Romania, give me your front line. You can rest. Just aid me, and I will fight everybody else. And Romania says okay. And so, before the Russians were able to defeat the Germans were sent tons of aid. That front line gets reset almost fully. But over here, both of these countries are fighting in large portions. Now, Russia is the country that has the most spread out army, because they have to fight 3 fronts right now. So, they are quickly trying to push into this country, and eventually, this country says, you know what, I don't want to fight in this war anymore. So, it's an 8v2. No, not even. It's a 7v2 now. It's Germany and the 6 other countries over here. So Romania now says, Russia, we know you can't do it unless unless we're also invading. We got your back. And Pink France will respond. Yeah, Pink France. They respond by invading this country. I mean, it is what they do. So they will fully annex that country. So, yeah. And this new union will make a trade with Galicia. This one area of land in exchange for a lot of money. And you want to know what they say to that? They say, sorry, but no thanks. And southern France says, well, I see how it is. But then they just walk away. And these two countries are like, what the heck? And now they're slowly realizing that the leader of southern France was a lot worse than the leader of Gibraltar. He manipulated the leader of Gibraltar and then killed him. And now this country is a dictatorship. And now Portugal and Galicia realize that. And they're gonna bring back their friend. After they fight these guys. So Galicia is going to take out most of these areas. France will be getting that and some other areas. And then this area is just gonna really go back to Gibraltar. And yeah, so this is what it looks like. And yeah, now I will fix this border. And yeah, yeah, so Galicia will be getting a majority of these lands, and this will look like that, and yeah, they will get that. And France will be taking over these areas, and Galicia is coming up into this world. That's the big guy. That's a big guy. But yeah. So yeah, that will be happening, and these guys will be fighting into them even more. And in fact, Russia will go ahead and take away these areas from Germany. And well, now that happens, and these guys realize what will happen. And they accept it. So let's go back to the start of the war. Before all of the swaps, some of the countries will remain allies. Morocco, Romania, Russia. Now, the biggest consequence will be Scandinavia. Scandinavia is gone. Poland is gone. So, what will also happen is these two will unite, and they will also ask these guys both. And now the peace treaty of the Great Russian-European War is over. Over here, the Russians have gained these two areas from this country. Romania has gained a good chunk of land from Bulgaria, Greece, and the Yugoslav country, which has now united with Rome. Poland and Scandinavia are both gone. And some land over here has been taken from Germany. These two areas were given to Rome from Germany, and Ireland got that from the purple British country. Also, these two united and got some land from over there. And yeah. But also, this is how much Morocco got. These guys got that from the Gibraltar country. And now, these guys will be going. They're both so historical, but this just, it can't survive. So, Romania and Great Ankara will make a deal, and they will split Bulgaria. And now they will also split Greece. Like that. But instead of Greece fully dying, instead Greece will survive with some of their land, but not a bunch. Also, yeah, Pink France actually did get that. And this is fully what happens to these guys. But yeah, that is what happens in this Russian-European War. And now we will have to see the final event of this video, which will be the rankings. So, number one, since the original, well, the current number one country didn't really do much at all this episode, they will be falling down in one place. Two is India. Actually, Pink France lost a part of their colony, so they wouldn't be first anymore. 3 seeing the size of Russia is, I'm gonna give it to Russia, actually. Then Pink France. 4 is Mongolia. 5 will be Persia. No, Portugal. Loki, I don't know. Would it be? It would be Mongolia, yeah. 6 is Galicia. 7, yeah, I agree. It is Ethiopia. 8, I forgot Persia. That's okay though. Persia would be down here. 9 Now, Instagram Legion. And at this point, Great Ankara isn't in top 10 anymore. 10 is Romania. 11 is Great Ankara. I'm going to 15. 12, in fact, actually, no, not even that. Tibet. 11, Romania. 12, Great Ankara. 13. Now 13. Pink China is actually this low. I remember before I put them up very high. It won't be them that low. I need to fix this. Instead, Hokkaido 14, Brazil, and 15, Guatemala. So now the rankings go from 1 to 15 instead of 1 to 10. And that will make for a better representation of what the rankings are. And yeah. And why can't I change the brush size? 30. There we go. Now it's working. And yeah, and there's one more country now that I have to add. And that will be 5B is Pink China. And yeah, that will do it for today's episode of What If Civilization Started Over. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, leave a like. And if you want to see more episodes of What If Civilization Started Over or other themes that I might post, subscribe and turn on notifications. And yeah, I will see you in the next video.